And
everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything, and that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me, all eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
sorry for the glitch. Oh, we don't know how to do the music. Somebody call John. Tell John hop on real quick. This is God level things people don't want to talk about. John's not here today. John's somewhere doing John's business, and Ivy is somewhere doing Ivy's business. Tonight's topic is prescription. There we go. Thank you. Tonight's topic is prescription drug abuse. We have the number down there. Call in with your comments. 832-479-9035. I am God Level, originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I am a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I am everything good. King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace, peace, peace. It's your radio host, not playing.
Go ahead and go with that energy.
Do it. It's your radio. Do it.
It's King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms as Newborn Everything. And as always, I command all that is of me so that I can be, I am. Peace, peace, peace. Right.
That's what's up. Coach D, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Hetepu, Uncle Jasimb, everyone. This is Coach D. I am the coach with the most. I am the one who is responsible for your personal development. You want to know how to become the best version of yourself? That's what I'm here for. I already helped hundreds of people do so. And I am not only a life coach, of personal development, also a personal trainer, nutritionist, father, an entrepreneur, just here for you. And I love being of service. Peace.
That's what's up. Aaron Patrick, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Yes, my name is Aaron. I'm from Columbia, Missouri. I'm a parent, a mother, a pharmacy technician for 20 years. I'm just here. All I want to say is justice for Andre Rowland, and let's get this started.
Let's get it started. Before we get started, I would like to send love out to my firstborn. Today is his birthday. He turned 25 today. Can you believe it? As beautiful as I am, I have a 25-year-old. Yeah, I'm in amazement too. Also gave me my first grandbaby, Zoe, Zora, Zoe. I'm a bad Gigi. But anyway, and today is also my father's birthday. That's me and that man down there. And then today is his daughter's birthday as well. So happy birthday to all of them, born October 22nd. Love y'all. All right. Do y'all have anything?
Happens to be one of my students' birthday today, too.
Really? Shout her out, or him.
Well, her name is Nyanka.
There you go.
She's on her way to Vegas right now. Her kids are taking her to Vegas for her birthday. She's definitely one of my most prized and most committed students. So
that's what's up.
Thinking about you.
Does anybody have any shout outs?
A lot going on 9 months ago.
I don't have, I miss John. John is our engineer. That is just flat out. I'm trying to do his job. This is hard. You make it look so easy. John, where you at? Call me. Anyway, he did give me a cheat sheet. We're gonna talk about prescription drug abuse. Oh yeah, peace, love, and light, David Guthrie. Don't make me cry now. Make me cry. Oh, that man was gone too soon. But anyway, what is a prescription drug? A prescription drug is a medication that can only be obtained with a written or electronic prescription from a licensed healthcare provider, such as a doctor, nurse practitioner, or dentist. These medications are considered to be potentially dangerous and have a potential for abuse, and therefore they are regulated by government agencies to ensure they are used safely. Well, we already know that they're not. I remember being back in nursing school, the DEA actually came up to talk to us to let us know that nurses was the number one prescription drug abusers in healthcare. It's the pills. They had to redo fentanyl. I don't know if y'all don't know this, but fentanyl used to come in a patch where it had liquid. It was liquid on the inside, and nurses used to slice open the package and then suck the medications out.
Yeah.
That was back. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the only reason it was in a patch, for those that don't know, is that's the only safe way to administer it in small doses to the body. That's why you don't see fentanyl pills in the pharmacy or the hospital. So the only way outside of the hospital without being monitored, because you can get it through an IV, but you're monitored by a healthcare professional. But the only way outside of it is they would administer through that patch. And that's why when you see people say that they touch their doorknobs or their door handles and there was a substance on there that either almost made them overdose, because it's absorbed through the skin that easy. But
I've seen that.
To that,
a lot of police officers in certain areas where fentanyl is really in high usage, they carry around Narcan. One of the police officers was actually just going through a car, and it got, like she just said, on his hands, and he literally overdosed several times on the way to the hospital from having it just on his hands. This stuff is powerful. I'm giving it out to a lady at work right now, but she's terminally ill. They give it out to people who are terminally ill, and right now people are using it on the street as their drug of choice. It used to be crack. Crack is no longer the thing anymore. It is the prescription drugs. It is anything that can be given to you by a doctor. And I hate to say it, the drug dealers are not on the corners anymore. I'm not going to say it. Because I seen my brother. I seen the reaction.
I was going to say, King Newborn, can you kick in with
King, yeah.
The disclaimer, because we're going to need to say that.
Go ahead and put the disclaimer out there.
The disclaimer is pump your brakes. Brought to you by, this is for entertainment purposes only.
I did research that 650,000 people have lost their lives since, let me go back, since 1980, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go back.
So the research, while you're looking that up, I'll just give a little background on
Go ahead.
I've done extensive research on this. So back in the 1970s, there's quite a few people, and I want to say it was San Diego, California, but don't quote me on that. I know it was California. There were several strings of deaths where they thought that they were overdosing on heroin. So they just chalked it up as heroin. So when they started doing the autopsies and found out that it was not heroin in the system at all, then they had to dig a little deeper. And that's when they started finding out about fentanyl,
Mm,
which is a man-made opioid
yeah.
created, and I want to say it was created by some chemistry students
I can look
for
that up.
entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment purposes only. From 1999 to 2001, 645,000 people have died from an overdose involving any opioids, including prescription and illicit opioids. This is the new drug of choice now. It's even in our rap songs. I want to say a couple of years ago, the big thing was scissor. Am I saying it correctly? Syrup.
Well, it's served, but they,
Oh,
the slang of the pig Latin slang was scissor.
scissor.
Sipping
And
on the
that was
scissor.
now what exactly
Codeine,
is that? Promethazine, which
codeine,
is something. That's it.
promethazine, and codeine. Yep, they no longer. So Actavis was the highest mass produced of this particular drug. That
Mm-hmm.
one bottle of 240 milliliters, which is 8 ounces, was $5,000. The rappers was rapping so hard about it that Actavis no longer makes that. There's only two
Yeah, I gotta
other
understand that that's not
companies.
by accident.
Yeah,
That wasn't by accident. That you got to see that these rappers promote a lot of that. Even like
Yeah.
Molly and all that kind. They promote a lot of that. So y'all, and then people go right out because they think because it's in a rap song, it's a cool thing to do.
yep.
Right.
So be
So
careful
I
with
was
that.
telling Renee, there is, and I want people to know this. This is a fact. This is not for entertainment purposes only. There is no such thing as a perk 30. So these kids are saying perk 30. There's no such thing as a perk 30. There's a Percocet, which comes in 510 and 7.5. Then there's an oxycodone 30. But the perk 30 is something that you're going to get that somebody made. That is not a real drug, not a real prescription drug. Now it might be a real street drug, but that's not. Go ahead, King Newborn, because I'm seeing the look on your face, and
Man.
I'm like, I'm hearing the kids talking about the perk 30s, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Right. Hold on. I did not know that was
But
one.
but John down the street and around the corner at the trap house made
Uh-huh.
it.
Got quite a few, and they're stamped. They're stamped where if you go like on to try to identify it, it will identify as a Percocet or oxycodone, but it's not a real drug.
Mm.
Not a real prescription drug. It's not a prescribed drug.
Y'all want to talk about Oxycontin? Did y'all see that show on Oxycontin and how they put twice the heroin in there?
It's twice as powerful as heroin.
It's twice. No,
Said
they
it was a
doubled.
good show.
It was a good show.
Okay.
Show talked about Purdue Pharmaceutical Company. It's a very good show. If you have not seen, is it called Painkillers? You might want to jump on Netflix and watch that. Yeah,
Good show. Yeah.
good show.
Good show. Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, you do know that they did bring up some pharmaceutical CEOs on RICO charges that do make Oxycontin because of the, somebody got to take the blame, but because of the mass production and because they felt like it wasn't being monitored. When I worked for Walgreens in 2000, I want to say 2008 or 2009, they got an $80 million fine from the DEA because they were filling prescriptions, the Percocets and the painkillers, opioids. They were filling those, 450 tablets. It was just like a ridiculous amount of prescription medication that was really not needed. So because
Mm.
they weren't regulating, they got fined. The warehouse that they were getting them from, the distribution center that they was getting them from, I think they ended up getting closed down, plus a big fine, and then it went up to the main manufacturers.
That I'm gonna go back to that show. It was a really good show. When OxyContin hit the streets, it was people going in, and I've watched this on YouTube as well. People going in from a broken arm, getting this medication. It worked for a little while, and then they will run out, and then they will go through withdrawals, and then the pain will come back. And when they didn't take it, it will cause depression. It will always be mental. They will go back and get an increased dose, and then be hooked on it for life. One man, he was saying how it was the best thing he's ever had. And then a couple of years later, he fell asleep behind the wheel of a car and died. One lady, she overdosed while being at home. Another sister said, you know what, I don't ever want to take it ever again in my life. She was like, I was up to 120 milligrams a day. They had people out targeting doctors' offices just to get those doctors to prescribe that drug. And then there was one lady on there for rheumatoid arthritis. She said it's a blessing and a curse, basically. It's a blessing to her because she's dealing with rheumatoid arthritis. But someone who is not as in so much pain as she is going to abuse it. Yeah, I gotta watch this show. Watch the show.
I think a lot of all of those medications come with somewhat abuse because after so long there is a physical addiction to any opioid.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
anything longer than a week or two. Usually, if you come out of the emergency room, they give you like 3 or 4 days, or if you come out of surgery, you might get 5 to 7 days or something like that. But I think anything beyond that, on long-term use,
Mhm.
you using it on a daily, your body is going to start to need that.
Yeah.
And I would say with any prescription drug, if you're using anything on a daily, and I know Diamond knows more about the about the chemical makeup of the body and how it processes things. I think this is the body apart.
Girl, you and that mic ain't gonna worry me.
Oh, is it too low?
Yes.
Oh, let me get
Dipping.
up close.
Yes, it's like yeah, like you will talk and then it'll just like slowly the volume will go down in
'cause
your
I
voice.
I
Yeah.
keep doing like this. Yeah.
Now when it comes
But I
to
think anything you use too much, you use too often is gonna be addictive.
when it comes to prescription drug abuse in the healthcare field, I've seen it. And these are going to be your nurses that work every day. They always picking up overtime. I've actually had to report a nurse. This was like early on, years ago in Cincinnati. I would come in the morning, and this is how you can tell when you get to know your patients and their pain and what they take and what they don't take. When someone comes in behind you and starts giving out everything to everybody, that is a red flag. That is definitely a red flag. Common Sense Consumption Act. What is that? You didn't throw me off, but anyway, we've actually had to we reported her. She was investigated. She lost her license. She was abusing. She was signing those medications out saying that she was giving it to the residents, but she was pocketing them. She was taking them home.
You haven't given any names or anything, have you?
No, I have not.
Oh, okay, just double checking. So
No,
yeah,
alleged.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and the alleged stories that come from the hospital, um, having access to those medications in the vials, taking them. Okay, never mind. Because the stories go on and on.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say.
it's
But
real.
then, like you say, with the stories going on and on, like what Skywalker would do, what are some of the most addictive prescription drugs on the market?
OxyContin being one of the main ones.
Fentanyl, Oxycontin, fentanyl, oxycodone. Those are your top 3 right there. Those are definitely your top 3. Oxycontin, it used to be they had to actually remake it to where you can't crush it down because people used to crush it down and snort it.
Right. Yeah,
To
so
get
they
that
have
a time
they have
release.
two. Yeah, they have the 2 kinds that they put out now to avoid being able to be able to snort those. But I think they are still available. If I'm not mistaken, they still it's well what has happened, they have regulated it so much where they have tried to cut down because used to be you could go to what they call the candy shop and you could pay like $350 cash and the doctors would just write scripts and then they'd be there for 6 or 7 months, then they change the location. And I think we talked about this in a previous one.
We
So
did.
it was basically like they were real drug dealers, and sometimes they would even move to another state depending on where the different licenses were that they had. But it used to be so easy to get, and now
Yeah.
you have to have certain diagnosis and different things like that because the stuff is falling on the prescribers. So first they flooded the market with the stuff. Now they're telling the prescribers like, look, if you prescribe over a certain, and I don't know what that certain amount is, but they're saying on average you should only be prescribing this much of this particular medication.
To this
If
person.
you get
Yeah.
too close to this amount, then that's when the red flags go up and that's when the investigation starts.
Yeah.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
What's the definition of a drug?
Like the drug itself or a prescription?
Drug. Just the
What's
word
a
drug. What's
drug?
it?
Oh
say
my
What's a drug?
God.
I want to say any chemical that you take to
Put
alter
inside
the
your
cells of the body.
It's a medicine or other substance which has a psychological effect when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body.
So basically, we saying a drug or medication that can change the mental and physical of a person.
Yes.
Ah, that's deep. So dare I say sugar?
There you go. Yeah. Highly
Well,
addictive.
Well, I would have to say before we actually put sugar in that category, because sugar is a nutrient and is necessary. Everything that you eat gets broken down into what we call glucose in the body, right?
Right.
So when we talk about table sugar, that's sucrose. Okay, so and then when you break it down, it's just the simplest. It's just one molecule away from being transferred into glucose. So that's why it's easy for it to increase your blood sugar, right? But can it change your psychological makeup? Yes, it can. It actually can. So it can affect you just like a drug does. In fact, it highlights the same areas that cocaine does in your brain. So it can definitely do that.
Purposes only.
Oh, that was
Entertainment purposes only.
that was educational.
Baby. Very.
Hold on, my camera is tripping. I'm gonna go out and come back in, guys.
Go ahead.
So I would say when we go back to what's the most addictive drug, You're right, King Newborn. It would be sugar because that's something that we all consume. Everybody consume. I mean,
And
I'm not gonna say
and it's
everybody,
available everywhere.
right? And it's readily
Yeah, it's in
available.
everything. Yeah, it's in everything. It's in everything. If you were to
And that's your
research
upper.
some of those preservatives in your canned foods, I'm just saying this for entertainment purposes only.
No,
No, I'm
I'm
dead
listening.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, canned foods. Yeah,
Yes.
canned foods.
I was gonna say it's been so long since I done ate a can of green
Anything.
beans or vegetables or
Man,
anything like that.
it didn't dawn on me until one day I was watching a show on Netflix called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Mm.
In that show, they highlighted canned foods, and it was like, man, it could be on the shelf for 10 years.
All right.
Oh shoot! I don't think
It
I
could
want that. They just been sitting there for 10 years.
Wait a minute, hold on now.
I mean, I
Just
know
because it
ideally, I'm
arrived,
sure they. Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, just because it arrived at the store and it's been at your house after you purchased it for maybe a year. What time? What day? What year was it made?
Right. You right. Yeah, because just because the stamp says it expires at
Oh,
a
okay.
particular time does not necessarily mean that.
We only talking about the sell by date.
Right.
I
It's
can't
not the
stand it.
expiration date.
Hello.
Mhm.
Oh man. How long do it take for a noodle to go stale? I ain't trying to get off subject. I'm just saying.
A
noodle.
noodle?
I love that question. Said a noodle.
You talking about top ramen? Shoot, top ramen
Mm.
lasts
And
forever.
everybody
That's
eats
space
top
food.
ramen. That's like and they're telling you like that's the worst thing you can put in your body.
Well, the real question
know
is
it's
why
high
is
in
it why does
sodium.
it have such a high? I'm going to say that too. Why does it have such a high shelf life? You know, most things
Very.
are preserved with sodium. That's a
Very.
preservative, and you know, in other things, and mostly in the form of nitrates and nitrites, which are carcinogens. So check it. You got to check your packages.
Yeah, guy.
Damn,
That
I
was a
just had
bodybuilder.
noodles today.
Coach D. I think you probably hip to him. His name is what is it? Something Cali. He had a heart attack in November of 2021, and it was because of top ramen.
Yep, Cali
And
muscle. Yeah, I know
Cali
exactly.
muscle. There it is. Yeah,
What?
Mhm.
he had a heart
So
attack because of that.
what he was eating too much of it, trying to
Way
trying to
too much
ingest
of
too
it.
much carbs or something?
Way too much of it. Yeah, you can Google him.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, that's entertainment itself. But yeah, you can Google him.
He was 48. 48.
Not
Oh, we
was. He
share the
still
same
is. He's
birthday.
still alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's still
He's
alive.
48. We got the same birthday. That's him.
Yeah,
But he on his
but, you know, they're-
he on fruits and vegetables now though.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, man. A lot of
was
weight for a guy that's only
solid.
5'8". He lost a
Oh
lot
my
of
God.
weight. That was a big boy. Big boy.
He was big. He got his little thing doing push-ups or whatever coming out of prison, but you know, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that contributes to that because you know them guys, Cali Muscle wasn't just a regular, everyday calisthenic guy. So I'm just saying.
No, he had to eat a lot of crap.
Okay, if that's what you want to call it, it was.
Well, I mean, I ain't gonna say the other things, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not certified. Yeah. But he ate a lot of
All I'm
crap
saying.
though. Yeah.
Why is
Yeah,
his
Well,
name
he
popping out
admitted
like
he
that?
admitted to that. He admitted to that. Coach D. He admitted to it.
11 years of high cholesterol food in prison.
in prison.
Oh
but
my
he
God.
definitely
And
was
that's the
big.
extra stuff you get a hold of. That's not the stuff they serve you.
Right.
Right.
That's the extra stuff you get a hold of. Living it up. But anyway, but he was also just a very he was cool. You know, he's a cool guy. You know, but on the most part, I've seen him go off on people when, you know, in very simple situations. So, you know, it is.
He did admit his mental wasn't all the way there neither.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was dealing with depression as well.
He used to use steroids too.
Is that what you're reading?
That's what I'm reading.
Okay,
reflect on heart attack and
yeah.
steroid use. I didn't think
Yeah.
it would happen to me. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you can't use steroids without it eventually coming back.
Oh,
on.
at some point, yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
I heard
'Cause-
just a
'cause what-
one-time use is deadly for you in later on in life. A one-time use.
Get one cycle, but definitely kind of one. If you complete a cycle of it, then yeah, you're gonna you know, because what people don't understand is don't forget that your cardiac muscle is still a muscle. Your heart is still a muscle, so it also gets the effects and get hypertrophy, you know, in steroid use. So that's another thing that people have been able to abuse here in America. You know, so just understand that that's out there as well. You know, so
I have a question.
Is
You
that
said
a highly
one
addictive
cycle.
drug too?
Wait a minute. What when you say one cycle, what does that mean?
So when so steroid use, there's a certain amount of time that you take it, and then there's a certain amount of time that you got to stop it. Okay, so that's one cycle.
Oh,
Normally around three months or so, where you take it, and then you have to cycle. You have an off period, and then you get back on it again. And this because as Aaron was alluding to, when you're taking when stuff is being put into your body, because steroid is the hormone being injected into your body, the growth hormone, right? Testosterone and stuff like that being injected into your body. If you keep doing that, then your body will stop producing it. So that's why you have to cycle it, or else you'll be forever dependent on it. You know, so then on the off cycle, there's an herb called Tribulus terrestris, which they actually take, and that makes your body produce it. So it upcycles their own testosterone and growth hormone production during that time. So, but you know, with it being injected into you, that allows you to have more of the available growth hormone at one time, and you can have better recovery, get better muscle gains and things like that. But again, that also enlarges the heart. Your heart, but you know, the cardiac walls get thick, but the chambers don't grow. So, but then your heart gets to overworking. You know, so it's kind of hard to come off of it even after you're done with your career bodybuilding. So, yeah, so you got to be very, very careful. So everybody out there who's looking to try to do that, get some education first. You know, can't tell you what to do, but I'm just saying, get some education.
Coach D, I wanted to go off of what you just said about the steroid. So your post about the melatonin. Melatonin is also a hormone that people are giving to their children to put them to sleep. So when they 7, 8 years old and they wonder why they like crackheads and they looking like they don't know those in coffee, is because just like you said, your body will stop producing it once you keep taking it for so long because it's figuring that it has enough. So there's a lot of parents out here that are giving these kids this melatonin to put them to sleep, and they're figuring it's not going to hurt them. But we all know that any type of hormone imbalance is going to affect you in some type of way on down the line. And one of those things is that those kids at a certain age, and I don't know because this is so new, I don't know what the scientific data is behind it, but I imagine that they are going to won't be able to go to sleep because they won't be able to produce this hormone anymore because they've been taking it for so long.
And most grown people they're not able to produce that hormone regularly because they are not on cycle, because melatonin cycles is with the cycles of the moon. The moon rises and and the sun goes down, we automatically, that reduces the light coming into your retina, so you automatically start to produce melatonin at that, which is released by the pineal gland. Okay, and then that's what helps you sleep. But if you get on board with that cycle, you know, and manage your circadian rhythm accordingly, you will always be able to sleep deep and sleep well. You know, but are you trying to stay up all night and trying to fight that cycle? That's why your melatonin cycles are off. That's why they're off. Because then in the morning, as soon as the sun comes up and light hits your skin, then that melatonin is a precursor to serotonin, which is the hormone that wakes you up and excites you. So you gotta make sure you get on with that cycle. Understand that the sun and moon are up there for a reason, and it helps you regulate your wake sleep cycles, which is for health reasons.
I want to piggyback off what he
Then,
said.
as far as giving the children, okay.
No, I just want to say, if you have experienced this is when you know your the rhythm is all the way off. What they call like blackouts. Anybody ever had one of those? While you driving during the daytime, when the sun is out, it's at its highest, and you wonder what 2 hours then went by?
Wow.
You ever heard of the phrase "drop dead Fred"?
No.
Okay.
Drop dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fred,
This
I
is
mean-
for entertainment purposes only.
I want to know. Drop
Yeah,
dead.
Yeah, sleep deprivation is serious.
Oh yeah. I get real
It's very
cranky. I just get real cranky, and
Man,
Yeah.
let your body decide to shut down.
Right. And let me
Yeah.
tell you that driving while sleepy is way worse than driving under the
while you
influence
drunk.
of anything
Yeah.
It
else.
is.
Big time. Big
it
time.
is because I
Yeah,
was sleepy
way
one
too
day, taking Derek to work, and my mind, I was about to convince myself it was okay for me to sleep for 2 minutes while driving this car, and I'm like, that is not right. I was that tired. I was that tired. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So,
Not okay.
woo.
Not okay.
So when I shut
know.
down, I shut down. I've been in bed all weekend. I needed it. I really did. I've been in bed all day today. It felt so good. It really did.
Yeah.
But anyway, how does prescription drug abuse impact individuals, families, and communities?
Mhm.
The individual they're drug seekers now. That's their God. That's what they want. That's what I take care of a man who, I can't say his name, but he said that was his main goal, was to wake up and get high every day
Oh, yeah.
from sun up to sundown. He was like, that was my only focus. How did it affect the family? You're watching your loved one go down a street, and you are trying your hardest to get them to turn around. You're fighting a losing battle unless that individual has enough will to say, hey, or strength to want to change, to want to stop, to want to turn around. If not, man, rock bottom is nothing to them.
Right.
Nothing.
I just want to throw something out here.
Mhm.
It's going to sound really sad, but it's something that we all need to analyze and take in consideration. Sometimes people go down these spiraling paths dealing with drug. It ain't necessarily because of the pain within the body from an injury. Sometimes it's the pain within the mental of dealing with family. And just because you think you're doing the right things or you're trying to implement the right things don't necessarily mean that they are the right things. You got to take that into consideration. I don't care what the drug is, whether it's alcohol abuse, whatever it is within family. Sometimes you just have to know you might not be the right person for the job, and that's okay. That's
There you
okay.
go.
Ooh,
There
that
you
was
go.
deep. Ooh,
It may not
we
be your
was talking about
responsibility
this.
to help them through those things.
Yeah, yeah. And just to piggyback off of what you said, I'm gonna use that word too. You said it was mental. It's their vice it's for some people, their vice in dealing with what trauma they have went through. So yeah, so you are absolutely correct.
Yep.
Ooh, that was deep.
Yeah,
As
because you know,
But they
you can
don't.
consider
The
yourself.
family. Another thing.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I was just gonna say that another thing about family is they don't understand the emotional well-being, that how they're affecting the emotional well-being of the family. Because just because you are the one that are addicted to drugs, other people become addicted to your addiction. Is daddy getting high today? Is daddy gonna come in with the attitude today? Is daddy, so they start just like they wake up every morning, like you said, the guy said, all I do is wake up and look for the high. Your
That's
family and the
it.
people around you start being affected and start worrying about you getting high. You're worrying about trying to get high, and they're worried about you getting high. So therefore, in exchange, they're addicted to your addiction because they're worried about the same thing you worried about, and they don't even get to feel the high.
Mm,
I can
yeah.
see that.
So they
I
start
grew up.
situating their activity around your addiction, in
Hmm.
other words.
Your
Yep.
your
So it
behavior,
does,
your
Yeah.
is he
yeah.
gonna come in snapping today? Is she gonna get out the bed today? Is she gonna come home tonight and cook us some food? Or is she gonna pay the light bill? Is she, you know what I'm saying? So you start that the emotional well-being of the entire household is affected by this, and not just
Mm,
the household. You got sisters that say, well, damn, let me go check on the kids. Did she feed the kids today? Everybody starts to become pulled into this addiction and
Well,
become addicted to this person's addiction.
yeah. And that's a version that where it's obvious, but there's another version of this where uh you have, because I've run across them, I know people personally even right today who have to go and they find reasons to go to the hospital to get access to these prescription drugs. And
mm,
so so you never know, because sometimes somebody can be truly ailing and show no symptoms, no signs other than them saying that they're hurting, or they feel this or feel that. And so it kind of drives you kind of crazy, because when you take him to the hospital, the doctor saying, well, we can't find anything wrong with him. We can't find, all the
mm.
tests are coming back. The blood is cool, and the liver is cool, the kidneys are cool, everything is good. So we don't know what's wrong. But then, so we just, give them some pain medicine, just, because they're feeling pain. They said they're feeling pain, but we can't prove. You really can't prove that somebody's feeling pain,
You
right?
can't.
But the thing is that but this happens over and over because they know they're going to end up getting that pain medicine. It could be morphine, it could be, something that they're given just because they're saying they're hurting, but the doctors cannot ignore that. But then eventually, when it becomes a habit, they notice a pattern, then they stop doing that. And then now the behavior of the person gets even worse.
Yep.
They get even worse. They go through more drastic measures to try to get to the doctor, to try to
Yep.
get a hold of this medicine and abuse prescriptions and things like that. So yeah, so you got that, and people get drugged through the mud just because of that as well. I've seen it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. I see a lot of it as a nurse with patients, drug seeking. If they were already in the streets prior to coming in there, um, and they've been put on some very strong medication, oh, they want it, and they want it on time.
indeed.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you do have some doctors out there um, that are reluctant to prescribe something that strong for a headache or your side is hurting. Let's try something else. Um, they're not comfortable with prescribing those strong pain medications because they know that it leads to addiction. Um, Usually, when I see those types of medications, this is with people who are terminally ill, and then others are just so used to taking them that they refuse. They will switch doctors just to make sure they can continue to get their medication. If the doctor say, "Hey, I think you're just at this point abusing. How about we take a step now?" They will fight tooth and nail to keep that medication. Why are these
A lot
prescription
of them
drugs so
are.
addictive? That is a very good question. Mm. From what I've been seeing, it's the high they get. Um, the high that they get on the medication, it makes it feel the euphoria. Um, I was watching an interview of a girl who took some Oxycontin and snorted it. She said for the first minute, not even that, things felt like she's sparkly, and then she blacked out. She overdosed. So they're searching, they're seeking that high that makes them feel like everything is all right. Not knowing that they are addicted to that drug, that feeling. So yeah. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? Oof.
But they also said, being addicted to any drug is not only causes impairments and complications in the human body, in the body itself, but it creates problems in the social life of the individual, of course, in the family structure, but also it creates, even in the psychic pattern, it creates, because it masks a lot of triggers, a lot of things that people are dealing with. Because now we're talking about the causation of a lot of addiction, what leads to addiction. People in some way are dealing with a void or some level of pain. Remember, everything that we do, eventually our goal is trying to get back to a state of happiness, peace, something that feels good. Because again, we're chasing dopamine, we're chasing endorphins and stuff like that, right? And sometimes our life situations can provide that dopamine or endorphins, and sometimes it can prohibit it. It's not the situation itself, but it is the way we respond to the situation. And because people don't know how to properly respond to the situations, they respond with emotional deficits, negative emotion. And that's what causes the emotional pain, mental pain, psychic pain, and things like that causes them to go and look for drugs, in order to mask it. So a lot of this comes from first of all, us not talking to people and not really caring enough about what's going on in people's lives. And I know you do. Sometimes you can say something and wonder what's going on, and people will clam up and not tell you. It's because they're afraid of judgment. And but when they're not getting the answers from the people who claim that they love them, then what they end up doing is going to a quick fix themselves, which is what these prescription drugs are. And it's easier and legal to get the prescription drugs than it is to try to get the illegal substances off the street. So that's another reason why people go for the prescription drug rather than try to get it off the street. So So it's a lot of
Thank
these things, that's plaguing us in our community that we really, really got to wake up and pay attention to.
Man, what did you say, Aaron?
Yeah, it's safer. It's safer to go to the pharmacy than it is to go
Mhm.
to the trap house.
Whew.
Ain't that something?
Yeah.
Where they got it
Ew.
all laid out for you at the pharmacy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you
That's a-
sure ain't lying.
Mhm.
And I've seen some prescriptions where I'm just outdone. Like this part, how are you walking in here
Yeah.
on morphine? You on morphine? Then you need hydrocodone for breakthrough pain. Then you need Soma for the muscle relaxation. Then you need Xanax because you got anxiety. All this different stuff that you need.
Mhm.
And really, if a lot of these people just got off this stuff, they realize how much they don't need it. You only keep needing
Yeah.
it because you keep taking it. But
Yeah.
it's hard for them to let that go because with these opioids, there's a physical addiction. It's not just like you're
Yeah.
gonna come off of it and have some mental issues. You literally go through a physical addiction
Yep.
or physical
Withdrawal.
withdrawals. I'm sorry.
Withdraw. Yeah.
And
Let's
It's-
also
that's
because
point out. I'm sorry, Coach D. I don't mean
No,
to
go
cut you
for
off,
it,
Ms.
go for it.
Aaron. I just want to point out we also got to remember some of this is because of muscle memory. Some of us have a routine day of things that we do.
Mm-hmm.
In order to replace a habit, you got to put a new habit in
Ooh.
its place. And if you
Mm.
don't do
Right.
that, you're just going through your routine of what you're supposed to do. People that have high anxiety, they normally work the best up under pressure, not knowing that them being overthinkers, over exaggerators, that's a positive for them. Actually, that's like I want for entertainment purpose, that would be like a superhuman strength because under pressure is when you
That's
perform the
superpower.
best. Yeah, it's a
That's their
superpower.
superpower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so when you try to get
you
something,
seen somebody on PCP, man, for real,
what'd you say?
You talking
Strong.
about- they turn into an Avenger.
But I'm glad. No, it's not funny though. But I'm glad you
Right.
brought it up because here's the thing with all these synthetic drugs. What he's pointing out, it's all mental. Yeah,
Okay.
that brain is way more powerful than you give it credit for. Whoa, what's going on with this screen? What we doing here? Oh, okay.
Oh no, she had to come back in. Go ahead.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
internet. Go ahead.
yeah. That brain way more powerful than we give it credit for. Way more powerful.
Well, it is. It's extremely powerful. It's so powerful to where I know it. There was a case. It was a case study that I read a long time ago with this woman who had to sleep in her car, and her body was like the next morning when they found her dead in her car. It was like she froze to death. Her tissue was frozen, but the temperature only dropped down to 42 degrees. Okay. Things start to freeze at what? 32 degrees.
Right.
Right.
But so they figured just because she may have been cold and she might have thought she was colder than what she really was. And it caused her tissue to actually freeze because of that. So it's some very, very powerful things that our brains can do. So yeah, we can overcome anything with that, and only because guess what, with a switching of thought, you also are administering different sets of chemicals that is interacting with your cells. When you're taking prescription drugs or any kind of drugs, what you're doing, you're substituting those things that you got to work for your own brain or your own endocrine system to produce for you. You do it artificially with drugs. You see, because it takes in order to get dopamine or even endorphins. Endorphins are natural painkillers. Those
Yeah.
are natural painkillers in our bodies, right? So, but in order to get them, there are certain things that you got to go through psychologically. You got to think right. You got to do the right physical things, and then your body produces it, and then you can get rid of pain, right? But people don't want to do that. Instead, they want the quick one shot. Let me just go to a drug and let it do it that way. You see, and that's why it's so hard to shake addictions, because it actually each one of the cells, maybe we got 70 to 100 trillion cells in the body, and each one of the cells build receptor sites in which the chemicals actually attach to through peptides. They actually attach to these receptor sites, and with it being so frequent, this is why it becomes an addiction, because it's expecting it the whole time. And then when that chemical now runs out, the receptor sites are still there asking for it. So the cell is still wanting it, and so now it's trying to do. It's gonna produce pain. It's gonna do anything that it takes for you to go after it and get it. You see, and so until you kick the habit, that's why it takes time. What you're trying to do is reduce those receptor sites, reduce it, so the cells are no longer asking for it. That's why there's a certain period of time that you go through withdrawals, and then they're over. But if you get back on it, it's like muscle memory. Those things will come right back real quick.
And be more
For
powerful.
entertainment purposes only, I just want to say, when was the last time you felt hungry?
I'm hungry right now, actually.
Me too. I'm glad you
I
said
walk
it.
all day long.
Look, but I do have 3 days worth of juice in there in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out what
Days
Coach G just broke down.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's when your cells start talking to you. Yo, hey,
You gonna eat?
look,
gonna eat?
what
That's
time we
what
eat
sugar
today?
addiction and all that stuff is
Hey,
about.
okay.
That's what that's about.
So
Yeah, it's gonna
does
talk
it
to
take
you.
like and this is just a question for Coach D. Is it like a snapshot that each cell takes a snapshot of what it starts to receive and holds it in its memory and continues to want it? Or, I mean, I was listening to what you were saying, but I'm just like,
It's
How
not a
does the cell
snapshot.
know?
It's just the same way, like when a pathogen gets in your body, and the way the immune system has to, your antibodies are made of proteins, right? There are certain amino acids that form to make proteins that form and make the antibodies, right? But each antibody is unique to the pathogen that the immune system is trying to get rid of, right? So it's just like any chemicals in the body. When that chemical comes in your body, then these receptor sites are actually forming in response to the chemical that's present. So it's not a snapshot, but that's why I say you don't get addicted the first time, maybe not the second time, but if you keep doing it, then these cells get used to the presence of that chemical. So now these receptor sites become like almost permanent indentions or prints, to where these chemicals have automatic access to these cells, and then whatever is going on inside of the cell because of that chemical, that cell has become dependent on that for that particular experience. You see?
because it's adjusted,
And so
it's adjusted itself to what it's receiving.
yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the thing, is that we have to realize that we're alive all the way from the organelles, which is the organs of the cell, through the cells, through the structures, that the tissue that make the cells form, through the organs that's formed by the tissues, all the way through the organism known as you. So all of that is, you're experiencing that thing all the way through, like a well done steak, right? All the way through. Nothing medium rare here, but you getting it through and through. All right, so yeah, you gotta, and that's why they can detect it in your blood, because guess what? It goes into not just the bloodstream, but into the bone where blood is made, in the blood marrow. So you gotta be very careful. You got a lot to get rid of. So you're doing that, stop it.
For most of the drugs
Right.
that we have talked about, it's in your hair for at least 3 months. Like it's in your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Blood, couple of days is the most. I was really shocked that fentanyl only stays in the bloodstream for 12 hours, and your saliva 4 days, but your hair is 90 days. Ooh, I was looking up like what is the average time it takes to actually kick this habit, because the withdrawals that they go through is horrible. I remember watching the show where the guy handcuffed himself to the room that he was in so he wouldn't leave to go out and get the drug, to go through the withdrawals, because it had him, he was sweating, cold sweating, throwing up, nausea, vomiting. Like, wow. Just to
And
get
those
that drug.
withdrawals can kill them. That
Say
can
it-
also
Oh yeah,
kill
they
hmm
yeah they could definitely die because of the withdrawals. And again, it's because you don't have the balance. You know, when that imbalance happens in that immune system, you know, your organs end up taking a shot, you know, and started to shut down because it thought that it became convinced that it needed this particular chemical. You see, and then without it, now it doesn't know how to function.
So
That's why you have to have medication to wean you off of medication. You got to do it little by little like that. So it's
That's what
a
methadone is
cycle.
about.
And
Yeah.
we almost get into that area of talking about the placebo effect.
Well, yeah. Well, the placebo effect is really a mental effect where if you what you thinking when you're convinced, you can literally be giving a water pill and somebody tell you that it'll make you high. If you're truly convinced that it'll make you high, it will make you high. That's the placebo effect.
In Jesus' name.
Yeah. Oh,
He said in Jesus' name.
I remember a nurse telling me, the lady in the back, this was back in Cincinnati. The doctor took her off her pain med and wanted her to drop down to Tylenol. Well, she was on her light half the night, and she was like, no, you call him back and you tell him I want my stuff back now. She would not go to sleep. So she took her in some extra strength Tylenol that is actually bigger than regular strength Tylenol. She said, okay, the doctor told me to give you this. This is stronger than what you had before. She took it and went straight to sleep.
I've seen that too. I have too, and that
It
it's
went
funny.
straight to it's.
Yeah.
I said some Tylenol. I said she said some extra strength Tylenol. She said she didn't know the difference. I said, wow.
Because, like you said, that muscle. What did you call it? Muscle.
Man, hey, listen, y'all gotta quit playing. This brain that we walking around with, hey, man, it's worse than Google. It's a mother, like for real, man. Y'all gotta quit playing, man. Like, man, and I know we like to
She's
say,
so out of her routine.
I know we like to say that everybody ain't as strong as the next person and thing like that. Look, you're equipped with everything the next person is. Now it's up to you if you want to heighten things about yourself. That's solely up to you. You know, we have experience through medicine. The body can take a lot of hits. But it's only up to that brain that's like, yo, we ain't done. I got stuff to do tomorrow. I ain't ready to go. That will push you way further than you think you can go, man.
That is true.
Way further.
That is true.
That's what they call spirit. That will.
Man.
That will is something else. Strong, what they call strong will, but it's really just free will.
Free will.
Yeah.
Making that decision. Making a choice.
Well, choice and free will,
You know, you're right. I already know what you finished.
they're not necessarily stuck because your choice is going to be made based on emotional conditionings
There
or
you
free
go.
will.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So that's just another that's another component that makes choices, but it's not choice itself.
Yeah, I had that heated back and forth. with somebody over the word decision and choice. So yeah, that's why I caught myself right after.
Yeah. So yeah, it's important to understand this, and the thing about it is everything that we see, all of our perceptions are chemical. Everything, the way you feel is chemical. Even when you claim that you love somebody, that's a chemical.
All chemical.
You don't love nobody.
Oh, it just makes me feel so good.
Yeah, that's a chemical. It's all a chemical. It's all hormones.
Yeah.
All of it is. And in fact, there's hormones to tell your body to produce the hormone that carries out the situation, and there's a hormone to tell your body to stop producing that hormone. So believe it, there's always shut on and shut off, and and things like your body don't operate. There's nothing that your body does without these messengers, which is what hormones are. Your body cannot operate without them. From digestion to making decisions, everything. All that stuff.
When we were in school and we were talking about the immune system and how when your immune system is nothing more than your army. So something comes into your body that's not supposed to be there. Your army,
inventory.
Your army. Your army is dispatched. There's, like you said, messenger. Hey, we got somebody that's not supposed to be here. Your army is dispatched. They will kill it, take a picture of it, put it in the memory bank so to remember the next time it comes in to do the same thing, to attack.
Coding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously. That's
and
cell coding. That's all
then another memory or messenger will come over and be like, okay, y'all done, it's gone. Going back to where y'all was at. I was like,
sometimes there's collateral damage.
I was just gonna say casualties.
Because your own immune system it's gonna always take out something that's healthy as well, some healthy cells, and that's why you want to hurry up and roll that baby back in. That's why we die from symptoms rather than the disease itself. It's always the symptoms, because even a heart attack is a symptom of heart disease. And it's truly your immune system trying to correct something. It's trying to correct something.
Bring you back.
But in the midst of it, you don't survive the fight. You don't survive the fight. Oftentimes. So that's your immune system is the most powerful military on the face of this planet, at least.
It sure is.
And I'm not gonna say for entertainment purposes on that. Because that is a hardcore fact, man.
It is.
That's a hardcore fact.
It is.
It's even to the degree with everything that we are talking about. A person can go study this, read this themselves, and they still will trust a white lab coat because it says physician.
They're just practicing.
Practicing medicine.
Practicing.
And the one thing that I've learned. And I was actually, even by one of my teachers, I was challenged to think, when does something go from being a medicine to a poison? Because it's the very same substance.
That. Yeah, I finna say I like that.
So what this taught me is that everything exists only in degree. So all we talking about is different degrees of the same thing. Something
Moderation.
can help you. Too much of it can kill you. Okay.
Moderation. Moderation.
That's right. Because remember, some of these same things that are hurting us are actually medicines. Like, they actually do help us at a lower and more controlled dose.
Like making your own tea tree. Alcohol poisoning. Hello. Cough syrup.
Yeah.
It just goes back to when we talk about balance and how important balance is.
Man, equality is important.
Because remember, even although in the history of mankind to this day, and I keep searching to make sure, but there's never been a vitamin or mineral to kill anybody, right? Well, let's say no vitamin. Okay, no vitamin. But vitamin A can be very toxic. Vitamin D can be toxic. You know why? Because these are fat soluble vitamins. they can actually get stored in the fat cells. So if you take too much of it, and I wouldn't say thank goodness, but people find themselves more so deficient.
Sugar plum. I'm sorry.
You know, they find themselves deficient in these more so than a surplus. So that's why I say anything can be helpful and then be harmful. It's all in the degree in which we use it.
Are you familiar with Coumadin?
Coumadin, mm-hmm. Blood thinner.
Would you mind telling people what Coumadin really is?
Well, I know it to be a blood thinner, so which is what they use for people who are chronic blood clots or dealing with thrombosis, and you know, and so a lot of times when you're on Coumadin, you gotta avoid like vitamin K, which helps the blood coagulate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you gotta avoid those kind of things. So eating things like kale and things like deep greens and things like that. So that's why I say the disease affects what you eat, not what you eat causes the disease. It's the disease that affects what you eat. So you got to be careful. You by the time you can't eat it, you done already had the disease long before you couldn't eat it.
Go ahead.
I froze?
No, I froze. That was me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Spectrum.
I don't know. It's there's a bandwidth monster going
I got
on.
it.
It's getting me too.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, I got it.
Look, my bill is paid.
Yeah, it's called Dark Side, dealing with the truth. That's what it's called.
So it goes back to what Coach D was saying, because I was talking about it before you end up logging on and we went live. Is acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, is the number one cause of cirrhosis or liver damage, because Tylenol is supposed to be helpful, but if you take too much of it, then it
It'll be your last headache.
Yeah,
it can be your last headache. Literally, that liver toxicity can kill you.
So you got to weigh that stuff out. You don't take Benadryl lightly. Don't take ibuprofen lightly. These things are liver and kidney killers.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to weigh it out. Is it worth putting my liver and kidneys at risk just to take down a little bit of inflammation? You know, rather than using an ice pack, using the RICE formula, RICE, RICE, rest, what is it? Rest, ice, compression, and elevate. That's what it stands for. You know, if you haven't, whatever the site is, elevate it, rest it, ice it. You know, if you want to take down the inflammation. You know, so practice these kind of things rather than going to
be quick to
prescription or any kind of over the counter medications. You know, make sure that you because you can get Benadryl over the counter.
Yeah.
Say it again.
They pulled the pseudoephedrine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remember Sudafed? They put that behind the counter because people was making meth with it. Then they came with the pseudoephedrine for the cough and cold. Well, they just pulled all of that because they said that it's not effective, and it basically has the placebo effect. So you're
gonna made so much money off that drug.
Money.
Let me tell you.
Right. So you'll start to see this cough and cold season.
Can't be giving you free.
Not on the shelf before.
Yeah, I can't give you free. I need you to get a prescription. I got insurance money behind this. Come see me. I can't have you cut me out. Hey, look, right. I need my cut. I need my cut.
They getting their cut.
I need my cut. Yeah, I need my cut. So, you know, all you want, hey, yeah. No lab coat put together, yeah. Need my cut.
You know, they got to pay them Rockefellers, you know.
Hey, that's the other side.
They got to pay the Rockefellers.
Yeah.
You gotta put in for this. You gotta put in for this. You either gonna go to school and sell it for me.
Right.
Or I'm gonna get you never mind. I'm leaving that.
You're gonna be in one way, in the game one way or another. You're gonna be a player or you're gonna get played.
Man, it's chess, not checkers. I keep telling people.
Oh my God.
Know
See, I
your
don't talk
position.
like that. My brother won't allow me.
Hey, for real though, man.
I know.
Hey,
It's
well,
a
I'm just
cold
saying, you know,
game, man.
it's
You
supply and
either a
demand, right?
seller
There it is. What he said.
or
Hey.
customer. Choose wisely.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey.
you either a
And
seller
if you don't manage your life, trust me, somebody here would do it
Oh,
for
no
you.
problem. No problem. Without
Okay.
ease.
You know
Without
what?
ease.
I'm just saying, it's here.
Without
You do it, or
ease.
somebody gonna do it for you.
Yeah, you say what's wrong? Oh, not a problem. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Right.
No, sit
Come
down.
on
It's
over
cool.
here. I got
There you go.
for a
Yeah.
second.
Here, try this one. Let me know how it works.
In the shadowy place over here. I got you.
Yeah. You was taking one and didn't help? Oh, well, here, take 1.5.
Oh,
Yeah, just take 1.5. Yeah. No,
Twice
I'm not
a day.
doing 2 for 30. I ain't doing 2 for 30 no more.
Right. Right. You're gonna have to talk to your insurance
Nah.
about that discount.
Yeah. I know you in pain. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the
Oh,
thing.
Cold game out here, man.
it is. Big,
I don't have a
It really
solution,
is.
but I just want to say to any and everybody, if you can wake up and have the thought process of that you need help, you have the same thought. You can have the same thought process and be the one to help yourself. Like seriously,
say that.
you know. But you gotta want to change. Some of us
That's
don't
the
want
point.
to change.
Point.
You gotta want to change.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta want to change. You gotta want to be willing to go through whatever it is to get to the other side. You gotta want to change.
You got to. Or else you will drag anybody who trying to help you. You're gonna drag them right down with you. You know. So.
And like the brother said, it's sometimes it is not your job. It's not your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta look in the mirror,
those that are
man. Look in the
helping,
mirror.
You gotta know whether your help is going in vain or not.
Right.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, and I'm glad God level said what she said. She probably heard me say this numerous of times. And it didn't stick until I had an elder break this down to me. Quit giving your help if you ain't asked for it.
Mm.
Everything don't require you to answer. If ain't nobody ask you nothing, be quiet.
My brother. What? That's my brother. Yeah,
Bunch of rhetorical situations out there.
my brother. It's my brother.
Man, I'm just saying, you might be jumping into something and adding your knowledge, wisdom, understanding, or even experience, and you could be making the fire worse than what it is.
Wow.
Yeah, because some
Ain't
people
nobody
don't,
ask you.
they don't want
Go
it.
ahead.
They don't want
You
help.
are,
Some people
you
don't
are
want
very right. Because I was gonna say sometimes you take that karma in when you try to help people and the creator wants them to go through certain things. We try to stand in the way and try to block it and be a savior. And then we become affected by that same thing because that's not your job. I said they supposed to go through this. Let them go through that and you mind your business. Or you can take the brunt of what I'm trying to give them and you be affected by it, and then that's on you. But don't keep trying to step in my way because some people lessons are out here for them to learn, not for us to walk them through that. That's not our purpose.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of
But it
like
takes
what we were. It's kind of like what we were doing, like every day on our spiritual service. We have a daily word, and our daily word today was, "It is better to stay silent or say things more valuable than silence." Meaning, if you ain't adding value to the situation, stay silent.
Yeah.
Stay silent.
For real.
You know, or you know, and it's like you're saying, if did nobody reach out, you know, for your help, then you're probably gonna be harming the situation because they didn't. If nobody wants help, you cannot help people who don't want help.
That is so true.
Period. You can't do that.
Ooh, that is so true. Yeah.
You only hurt
There's
yourself.
no value in that. I don't care
Man,
how good your heart is.
Man, I was just gonna say, no matter how passionate you about
Right.
helping people, man, if ain't nobody ask you nothing, stand down. Stand down.
Yeah.
Because even with you causing more hurt than harm, or even something detrimental, you can also put your life at risk and not even be knowing it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
Yep. Yes.
So
And I think it's taking all of us on this panel to be affected by that in some type of way for us to even know that. Because I was gonna say 10
They
years
did.
ago, I couldn't have said that because I still would have. I'm still wanting to help somebody, help people that don't want the help. Now they'll take it, but they didn't ask me for it. I mean, if
I
I'm
mean, just
giving you $1,000, you're gonna take it, even if I didn't ask you for it. If you didn't ask me for it, so it does take age and does take wisdom and it takes experience to learn that.
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy. Today is what, the 22nd, 2-2.
Yes.
Wisdom, wise don't, all being born a culture.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, way of life right there, real fast.
There it is.
Way of life, real fast.
indeed. Indeed.
Well, we're coming up
tell
on
you.
I
120.
just felt
We did good tonight.
Yeah.
What you
Tonight
say,
was
Aaron?
good. What you
Aaron,
say?
get back to your mic. What you say?
I said I just felt something like my eyes got watery and stuff. Y'all energy just came through on me, and I'm like, whoa, shit. I don't know. It's
That's
just something
peace.
that
That's
just came
peace.
through. I love y'all.
Oh,
We love you back.
too. Love you too.
Oh my God, we love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Where's John? Tell John thank you too, because he gave somebody some questions to put up there.
Hey, you know what?
He knew I was
Peace-
gonna drop the ball. Man,
peace
she
to,
gonna drop the ball. Here go the questions. Just post that because you know how Renee is. You see, I'm so.
God level.
Yes, I'm sorry.
God
He
level.
knows how
There
God
you go.
level is.
Stay in your professional mode, please.
Yeah,
But Skywalker. Shout out to Skywalker. Peace to that God.
absolutely.
And all that, all his endeavors.
Man.
But I also want to point out, I want to give a big commencement to God level. Yeah. See,
What'd I do?
through the podcast, God level has been doing a lot of growing and developing of our own. And because of it, Miss Aaron, myself, Coach D, Skywalker, and a few others that have come through here have their own stories and experiences. But the purpose of God level things that people don't want to talk about, brought to you by God level, is to reach out to our community and let them know we are here for you. This is a safe place. Anything that you are going through and you got going on in your life, and you just happen to come across this, however it may came across your screen, phone, or radio, because we on iHeart Radio as well. You know, yeah, okay. You over there messing up, God level.
She made herself
Yeah.
big.
I didn't do that.
Yeah. She highlighted herself. Yeah,
I
but
didn't.
we had a caller call in, and as we paid attention, and God level did such a great job mediating that, and was able to use an attentive ear to hear that she really needs somebody to listen to her. So God level was like, hey, we here for you. So I just want to say, God level, big ups, much love, appreciate your growth. And
Yeah. Oh,
the important thing that you
Mhm.
did the most was you accepted change, so you can implement change. So that's peace, Queen.
Indeed.
brother.
Yeah, that's big. That's big. Pat yourself on the back. And those are tears of joy.
It is.
Tears of joy,
Yeah.
acknowledgement.
I-
And then again, today
I
is
do.
2-2. The number 2 represent and symbolic to the woman.
It's been a long year.
It's been a beautiful year.
Yes.
A lot of growth on this panel.
Yes. A lot of moving forward. A lot
Whole
of coming
lot of
forth.
moving
A lot
forward,
of
yes.
change.
A lot of change.
You know.
Put me on the spot like that.
I didn't put you on the spot. God level put you on the spot. This your podcast. you just falling in sync with the mission statement.
I did,
Mm.
and it was beautiful. I called and talked to John, and he was just so proud. He was like, "That was an end of a." He said that was an end of a cipher. Because when I was talking to the young lady, I felt like I was talking to who I was a year and a half ago.
Bars.
Mhm.
So,
Bars.
I mean, I was able to give her the steps that I took to get to where I am today. And I still check in with her just to see how she's doing. Because that's really all she wanted, was someone to just listen. And before belting out suggestions, I asked, would you allow me to give you some suggestions? And she did. And I swear I was talking to me from a year ago.
The biggest communication we have a problem with is talking to ourselves.
Period.
So she's doing well. I've checked in with her this week. She's taking care of her granddaughter, sick right now. So yeah, I will text her tomorrow and see how she's doing. With looking for a therapist that looks like us. It is so important that when you do seek out a therapist, you want someone that looks like you. Someone other than me is not going to understand the Black experience. They're just not. I need someone that looks like me, that will be able to understand what it's like to have a hot comb hit that edge. You know. So hey, it is what it is. So yeah, that was a beautiful phone call. I'm glad I answered the call. So yeah, that was a lot of growth. I'm able to put that behind me and move forward. And then he was like, "Now you're up for your next challenge," and I'm like,
"Oh yeah, it don't stop there. Keep going.
It don't.
That's why it's called know thyself, self-mastery. It's very important."
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, like we are here. I know I am. If any one of you all want to talk about any and everything, we are always here. Like my brother said, I'm sorry, King Newborn. This is a safe place. She found us on TikTok. I just happened to go live last week, and I never go live on TikTok. And she was saying how she never gets on TikTok or anybody's live and say anything. You know, it was all meant, and I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad it went the way that it did. I'm glad she walked away, you know, feeling better, that someone just listened to me, you know, instead of just telling me what I should do. So yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah. That go right back to hey, unless you're being asked. Unless you're being asked. The only thing you can offer is an attentive ear. That's all you can offer, man. That's all you can offer. Because sometimes just hearing yourself speak it out, you can almost solve your own situation.
Yes.
That's right.
So real.
That's it.
That's why journaling is also important.
Write it down.
That's another way of speaking it out.
Yeah.
He's right about that. Once
Writing
you start
I do that all day long.
hearing how ridiculous your situation is, then you
seriously.
And then you go back and read it, you be like, I was dealing with that. I did that.
No, I mean in real time. You start saying, but
right then and there.
Yeah, it's in real time. You be like, wait a minute. Oh no,
did I do that? Did I say that? Is this how I'm acting? Yeah.
Well, I'm not feeling that way, you know.
Journals got me thinking about my grandmother, who left me all of her journals before she passed. And also,
you should read them someday. I'm kidding. Don't do that.
I'm scared. I'm a little nervous. I am a little nervous. And she was like, get them all. It's like 4 boxes and 3 boxes in there. I have 3 boxes of journals about this big, filled to the rim.
Have you ever read them?
Yes. No.
You should read them. She probably wants you to know something about her that you didn't know.
Right.
Something
Yeah.
she kept to
Know
herself.
something about yourself.
I
Yeah.
was just gonna say you might activate something within yourself.
You th-
Mhm.
This
No,
is
I'm
our
dead serious.
father's. No, this is our father's.
And I'm
Mother.
saying you might activate something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Oh,
I was gonna say I got journals like that. I've been keeping since 96, 97, and I go back and read it and be so thankful. So thankful that I am not where I used to be.
You
That's
go,
what coming
girl.
forth by day means.
Man,
Hurt
ashes
and
to
bruise.
ashes, dust to dust, to the old version of me. I rise like a phoenix. You hear me?
Say that.
Hey, I ain't the same. I know I'm not.
Mm.
Big facts.
I can attest to that.
Big facts.
I know that. More your mental is sharper than it was. Like, man, you were sharp then, and I was like, I used to just sit in. I know I've said this a lot. I used to literally just sit in the barbershop, just be like, this man is smart.
Blame it
I
on
always-
the books.
My brother is the smartest man I've ever come in contact with. The first. So yeah, you're gonna always have that. Keep going. Keep
I
it up.
appreciate it.
Yeah, y'all remember that character in Living Color that Damon Wayans played? The guy who would always use those big words, but he'd be using them incorrectly.
That was in.
That was in jail.
Young.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
According to my vernacular,
Yeah,
I
that
believe
part.
that the acetabulum of the indulum and medulla oblongata is that he didn't ascertain.
He didn't ascertain the white man. Swine, my brother. Facts.
Oh my god.
Big
Oh my god. Woo, we're coming up on 1 hour and 32 minutes. This has been Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by God Level. I want to thank everyone who came in and jumped in on tonight's live. I see the love, I see the care, I see the likes. We really appreciate it. Don't forget to always share the live. Don't be afraid to call in, honey. We are here, 832-479-9035. And don't forget to check out my merch. I got God Level hats, snapbacks. Get you one. It's free it's free shipping. So yeah, does anybody have any closing arguments on tonight's topic?
We don't argue over here. We got statements.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah.
Arguments like we was in
Closing
court.
arguments,
Yeah,
closing
no, we
statements.
ain't got no.
I'm
we got
sorry.
Statements. Yeah.
I was flowing too. Closing statements.
Yeah, closing statements.
You
Yeah,
know, I am not
concerns,
above being
comments.
corrected.
No, it's love. It's love. It's
About
love.
to speak to the jury. All right, now
Man.
jury.
What's your closing argument?
Closing argument. Closing
They would have you to believe.
So you said it was 10:45. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
right.
you done fucked up, don't you?
right.
Right.
Oh my God. I make mistakes. You know, you fall down, you get back up. And you
It's
keep
all
going.
right.
Oh, absolutely. It's all love. Next week, we're doing current events. Whatever y'all want to tackle.
Oh man.
Yes.
I want to put out there, just maybe one day. It ain't gotta be nothing soon. We should deal with I probably shouldn't say this.
Say it, because you can got
We
us
should-
curious now.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the delivery, we should deal with nationality.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Why you want to do that?
Okay. Yes. because they keep
Yeah.
changing our names. Yeah, I get it. Yes, let's do that.
I mean, I ain't gonna.
Even with
anyway.
this Israel
Yeah, we
Gaza
got-
stuff.
Oh,
we want to talk about
man.
nationality.
Can somebody please explain to me? Because I'm like,
even
what
worry
is
about it.
going on over there? Everything you know.
We gotta
Who
go
hit who
backstage
first?
on that one.
I'm
We can-
you know
I'm
I'm in a
talk
whole
about it
I'm in a
next
bird's
week.
eye perspective on that. So that's a
Okay.
I'm in a bird's eye perspective. We that actually came up in our book study this morning, my book study, and it got kind of a very passionate discussion, and I was just
As
like,
it should.
yeah, but at the same time, it's to me that's still the human condition thickening.
I know where you going with
and
that.
yeah, and for me, I'm not trying to contribute to the thickening of the human condition at all.
Right.
Period. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely going to be asking you questions next week, Coach D, on what's going on, because it's going to be current events. So prepare to answer my questions, please, because I want to know. I want to be in the know. I want to know. We won't have a whole lot of time now. We have 1:35. So do you guys have any closing statements regarding tonight's topic?
please get some help if you know yourself or anybody else who may be exuding signs of addiction to prescription drugs. It is not worth it. And if if you're finding a hard time dealing with life at all, seek something different. Open your mind up to different activities. Get out, try to get a new social circle. Reach out, have different conversations. Change your perspective, and that can change your entire life. Because life is all about perspective.
Absolutely.
Big facts.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to say first, Miss Erin, can you please repost
Get another mic.
No, I ain't gonna tell you to get another mic. I was just gonna say,
Can you on the live? Let's do this later.
Can you repost that national help hotline?
Oh yeah.
Can you repost that?
Yes.
And then I just want to point out addictions are real. The key to any addiction is the acknowledgement that you have an addiction, to whether it's pain, prescription drugs, whatever it is. Just to acknowledge it first and foremost is the first stage of change. I also want to say, take time out, become self-aware of self. That's very important. Acknowledge who you are and who you're not.
Oh, come on now. Correct your identity.
Aaron?
Oh no, I'm not pointing at nobody. I know you.
No. I was saying like next.
I'm not pointing at nobody.
No. Coach D went, you went. I was wondering if Aaron had any closing statements before we closed out.
I would say, hold on, man.
No.
Oh, I don't. I was reposting the thing, but I do not.
Okay.
I'm just in awe at this conversation that we done had.
I'm happy that you've joined us. Thank you. You bring a lot to the show, whether you know it or not. I appreciate your. I'm gonna look that up.
Hey, challenge the information versus the individual. That's always a beautiful thing to do.
It is. So, okay. So, let me see if I can do this right. I don't have anything else to say.
I hope everybody
follow God
has a
Level
wonderful week.
on all social media platforms.
There you go. Follow me on all social media platforms.
What's your website again?
I don't have it posted. It's godlevelshop.com.
There you go. godlevelshop.com.
Go get you a hat. I'm looking at this. I'm gonna talk to this guy at work tomorrow and see if he can start doing me some hoodies. I'm gonna just throw some hoodies up there, some shirts, some socks, some pens, some cups, everything.
Underoos.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what I'm doing. See, this is why John is missed. I want to thank you all. We will see you all back here next week.
Peace.
Everybody-